we go.
It's all right.
So I want to just real quick, because we're driving around. Car Thief and I are just 11 people have contacted me so far. He's listened to me talk to them on the phone.
Absolutely bizarre, some of the stories.
11 people have contacted me so far. 11. 5 stories are about McKnight. 3 are about Pam. The rest are about Blankenship and Fouch. The Blankenships are violent thugs.
I was about to say Blankenship or Blankenship.
Yeah, the Blankenships, those guys are violent. They are physically hurting people. They're physically attacking people. And I've got Car Thief here because he's seen me. Have I not been on the phone all day?
90% of it, yeah.
Have I been talking to people all day?
Yes.
Yeah. Was there not a full-grown man on my line a minute ago crying?
His heart out.
There was a full-grown man that I was talking to a minute ago who told me his story about being so badly abused. He's being so badly abused. He's afraid. And just so you guys know, I won't publish your story. I record my phone calls, but I will not publish your story if you don't give me permission. The other woman, a woman earlier, called me today and she told me some stuff about some people. And she called me back and said, please don't publish my story. And for that woman, I will not publish your story. I got your text. I got your message. I will not publish anything that anybody asks me not to publish. If you have a conversation with me, your story helps the people here. It's about changing this regime. A regime, you've heard that word before. What a regime means is a group of people who come into power. You've heard the word regime when you talk about the Middle East. And they'll say, oh, we need to change that regime over in wherever Stan. Oh, door's open. Your door's open. And so far, just so you guys know, I have 11 recorded phone calls. 2 of those people, one woman and one man, have asked me not to publish their story. They'll call me back and let me know if I can. And just to those 2 people, I will not violate your trust under any circumstances. You've already been violated. You don't need a journalist to violate you too. So you have my word. But the gentleman I spoke to, who was crying his eyes out, he was so abused and so cheated by these cops that he's afraid. He's literally afraid. He doesn't want to be retaliated against. He doesn't want to be in the crosshairs of the Ironton Police Department.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. I mean, Car Thief said it best. Nobody wants to be targeted by cops. See, the thing is let me give you guys a little bit of information. As you know, I'm big on history. What I teach mostly, and the way I became known on the internet, was by teaching the history of the origins of law. And originally, just so you know, I called it the etymology of law because I'm not classically smart. I'm a regular old dumb guy. And etymology actually means the history of words. So I said the wrong word because I only know what I know. And so that's how I became known. That's how I got 300,000 followers on TikTok, was by teaching the history of America, the history of law, the origins of law. And so I'm a Gen Xer. I was born in the 70s. And so what that means is that before there was a camera phone, what created me was police. That's what created me. That's what made me what I am. The police, if you're a Gen Xer, then you already know this. Oh, this is just a stop sign. I thought it was a full-on stoplight. I was sitting here. Sorry, Car Thief. I didn't mean to, brother.
Down here at the second place.
What would you say? Go down here, go left here?
Yeah, and pull into the second place on the left.
Okay. So what created me was being a Generation X born person. And then what happened was the police abused me. They abused this one right here?
Yeah.
Speedway?
Yes.
What happened was the police abused me. They abused me badly. And they abused me badly so many times. Not Sergeant Greg Russell. Not Sergeant Greg Russell. In my hometown, Sergeant Greg Russell treated me fairly, treated me kindly. He's the only police officer I've ever known who didn't abuse me. So the creation that I am was manifested into reality by being abused by small town police in my tiny little hometown, where the state troopers abused me consistently and often. Not Sergeant Russell, though. Not Sergeant Russell. And just so you know, because when you're friends with somebody, they often receive the brunt of your frustration. And for a lot of years, I took it out on Sergeant Russell, the only cop friend. I have another cop friend now. He's one of my close friends, ex-NYPD. And he's still a gigantic cop sucker. I mean, the fights that Mike and I have are epic. We hate each other for a couple weeks, and then we come back to center because Mike wants to change it too. He's an ex-cop. He wants to change the bad laws. So I just want to stay on focus, though. I don't want this to be about me. 11 individuals have contacted me to tell me about their story, and I have 2 more to call, so that'll be 13. I have 2 more people waiting for me to call them right now. So if you guys have been cheated, abused by this police department, by these swine buckets, I want you to call me. I want you to contact me. Send me your phone number. Just the guy that I just talked to on the phone who was really upset. Dude, I give you my word. I will not print your story. I've told all of the story of yours I'm going to tell. Right here, right now. And I will put because I'm going to take the audio of the other people and I'm going to distort their words, distort their voice box, and then make them sound like Kermit the Frog so that they can be hidden. But that's because they're afraid. And there's one gentleman, I will leave who he is for when the video comes out, which is going to be all audio. I will leave his name public because he said to me, Chili, print my name. Publish my full name. That's what he said to me. And so he'll be the only one on the record. And I will publish his full name. He said, I'm so sick of this, dude. I'm so sick of it. He said, and just so you know, you're just scratching the surface. The corruption goes so deep. There's things that I've heard about that I can't speak on, but there's things I know that people have told me. So that's what's going on in Ironton. This is Brookside, Alabama on steroids. There is so many people. Those Blankenships, because by the way, they wear just the name Blankenship on their shirt, so we don't know which one did it. The coward I chased out to his car today, and I followed him with the camera, and he just walked straight ahead and didn't say anything. Those guys are violent thugs. They're hurting people. So's McKnight. McKnight's hurting people. And look at what a wussy these guys are. Look at what a wussy they are. Little beta males. Any of you guys give me the green light to meet me at the gym. You sign a waiver, and when we're done, I'll pick you up off the mat, wipe away the blood from your face, and say, you got what you deserve. What do you think made me this way? How do you think I became this way? Just think about that for a moment. How do you think I became the way that I am? How do you think that happened? Well, number one, the first thing that has to happen is
I'm going to go talk to a man about a dog and a thing. I'll be right back.
All right, buddy. I'll be sitting right here for you.
Good enough.
The way I became this way was first in my small hometown. The state troopers there, they got their rocks off by busting high school parties. And then if they could, they would charge the kids with minor consuming, give you a criminal charge in high school. So then you're off the wrestling team. That's what they would do. So there were several parties when I was in high school. When the cops come, everybody would tell me, Chili, the cops are here. And all the wrestlers or all the football players or all the volleyball players or all the track people, we would have to run. Because we still want to go to parties with kids. We're just kids having fun. And so all those times I had to run from the cops. And then when they cuffed me up when I was a kid, I remember the first time I got handcuffs put on me, the very first time I remember. I was like, man, this hurts. And that was over 30 years ago. So I've felt this way about cuffs for this long. They're called torture cuffs. So I want to hear from you. If you're in Ironton and you've been abused, I need to verify. I've got several stories about Pam. I need to verify the stories about Pam and the Blankenships, and I need to verify the stories about McKnight. McKnight, I have 5 people who have told me stories about McKnight. 5 people. I've been on my phone all day. I literally can't stop to even have a candy bar. I've had this candy bar in my pocket now for a day. But I got fake teeth, so I got to have a candy bar as a process. It means I got to stop talking to people who actually want to tell their story. You know, and just for the good people who are going to contact me and tell me about your story, when I first bared my soul on TikTok, when I first told my story of being no-knock raided by current Chief of Police Michael Moore, I cried my eyes out. 1,500 people in the room, live. And I sat there the first time. I said, could feel the emotion welling inside of me just remembering how hard it was to tell my story of being abused and sexually assaulted. So hard to tell the story. And I'm not emotional about telling the story. I can tell you they kicked a door down, they sexually assaulted me in the lineup, they did all these things to me. But I just want you guys to know, the first time that you actually vocalize your story of being abused, the first time you talk about it out loud, you're going to cry. You're going to cry. Because you're dealing with people who have hurt you and violated you, and you don't get to defend yourself. And everybody that you talk to who loves you and respects you and thinks a lot of you, they'll tell you, let it go. Just let it go. You can't beat them. Like you guys heard that copsucker on the video. She was telling the other girl, you need to shut up. You can't yell at the cops. You heard that copsucker. You heard her. So the first time that you call me and we talk, if you break down crying, just so you know, some of the time I'm crying with you. I told you last night, me and Sarah and Tim went to pizza and we sat at the table and we cried. We all cried last night. Just unwrapping the layers of what it's like to be abused and be cheated and not having any sort of third party to call to say, man, these people have hurt me and I'm damaged. And more than I'm physically damaged, I'm emotionally damaged. I no longer trust people who claim to be the authority. I no longer trust people who wear a uniform of authority. And so you have nowhere to turn. Because because of a guy named August Vollmer, Vollmer, August Vollmer, and I believe he wrote the Policeman's Professional Handbook. I think he wrote that 1931, 1930, I believe. He writes the Policeman's Professional Handbook that militarizes police, by the way, and makes official firearms a part of being the police uniform, which my new police apparatus that I've written, the cops don't carry guns unless they carry a gun underneath their clothing. So I can't wait to lay this out for you. That's going to be the next thing I do. While I'm here in town, I may do it here. So the champion of all these people who have, oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I don't really look at comments much, but thank you so much, Mustang Rider. I appreciate that. So the gentleman who called me today and said, when you publish that story, Chili, put my name on it. The champion. What I'm hoping is that everybody will come together and say, yes, publish my name, put my name on that, because there are some people in the community who are upstanding members of the community that have a story to tell. And if you go on the record, if you're a member of the community, if you go on the record, it's going to go a lot further than if you stay anonymous. But again, I won't even publish a single word you said if you don't want me to, because I'm not here to victimize you again. Could you imagine? You call somebody for help and say, wait a minute, I've changed my mind. They go, no, I got your story. No. Anybody can call me at any time and say, please don't publish my name. Don't publish my story. And I won't. It's just that simple. I won't do it. I will not. So it looks like I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay here until Sarah's trial, because I can't even submit the amicus brief that X Factor and I wrote, and by the way, X Factor actually does the actual writing. We just talk about the law theory together about how we're gonna position the amicus brief. And so we're submitting an amicus brief on Sarah Page and Tim Lyon's behalf. An amicus brief is a friend of the court, a civil libertarian who is well educated on the laws and the Constitution. Often they're political figures, or what they are most recently, just so you know, is the Chamber of Commerce, the Federalist Society, big money organizations that have a vested interest in making sure that the federal judges who are appointed and the Supreme Court judges who are appointed and not voted on, that those people work for big commerce. They work for big business. So, you know, he knows the same thing. He knows what I'm telling you right now is 100% true. So if you live in Ironton, how you guys doing? And you want to tell me your story, I want to hear it and I will listen. And at the end of the story, you can tell me, don't publish a single word I said, and I will not violate you.
Yeah, I just got a giggle there. You were waving, being very friendly, driving by these people, and they were looking at you like you had two heads.
I got California license plates.
Outsider.
I got California plates.
Right.
So I just wanted to come on to let the people know that if you do decide to tell me your story, you don't have any responsibility. You don't owe me anything just because you tell me your story. I don't need to publish your words. Like I said about the gentleman who called me a few minutes ago and a full-grown man was crying, and I had to get out of the car myself and pace so I didn't get all watered up and start crying with him. I'll tell you that they abused him so badly, that he's afraid of retaliation.
Oh, you just ran a red stop sign.
What they did to this gentleman, was so atrociously bad. Blankenship, you. And you guys got to get an initial on your damn uniform. Which Blankenship was it? We don't know. And so then what do cops always do, as you guys have been following the channel? They go, oh, I'm not authorized. That must have been the other captain. Oh, you know what? You must have talked to Sergeant whoever. Oh, I can't do that. Can you give it to this other captain? Or can you call over to the major? Can you talk to the lieutenant? That's what cops do. So the Blankenships who have not their initial on their jacket, you two cowards. And by the way, 3 stories today are about the Blankenship's father being a drug dealer. 3 stories. You heard, 3 different people, 3 different sources are telling me that the Blankenship's dad runs a drug factory. 3 different sources. I will publish their stories because none of them have retracted.
He's a chef.
Yeah.
Not just a cook. He's a chef.
Yeah. Apparently he's doing some stuff. I'll let their words speak for you. I will let their story be told, and I'll change their voice a little bit so that people feel safe. I don't want to get anybody hurt. I'm not here to cause pain. I'm here to change this regime. And the regime I'm talking about is Pam Wagner, the Blankenships, McKnight. You know McKnight's got a blue tattoo down his shoulder, a blue striped flag. He put 3 blue strap flags on his car. I put one on my Instagram. I'll post it in community here on YouTube so you guys can see that McKnight he thinks he's dyed in the wool a cop. McKnight, your time being a cop is almost over.
He's a
because
gangbanger.
What's that?
He's a gangbanger.
Yes, McKnight, your time being a cop, I hope that blue stripe tattoo does you good in prison, McKnight, you coward, you wussy.
That.
You little wussy. Hey, McKnight, you think you're tough? Let's meet at a gym. Sign a waiver. Put a mouthpiece in. And I'll tell you what, McKnight. I won't even throw bombs on you, brother. I'll meet you at the gym in a legal arena, and I won't even throw bombs. I'll just pick you up and slam you on the ground over and over and over. When you hear the 5 stories about McKnight, when I publish the stories, when you hear the 5 different people who have called me and said that this son of a bitch has done these things to them, it's going to make you as mad as Sarah's story. And he did it wearing a badge, so you couldn't fight back. He did it to them wearing a badge.
It's happened so often that you could call him a very practiced up purveyor of violence.
Yes.
He's practiced.
I'm just
Furious, I know. I feel it too.
the idea that a man can attack me and I can't defend myself, and he's a quarter of the man I am. And then him that blue stripe tattoo on his shoulder. You coward. I'm gonna knock my own teeth out here. I gotta calm down.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, look at the goosebumps up and down my arms because it just makes me literally so mad. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? And let me take a story way out of context. Let me take a story, just someone's story that they told me, and just take it way out of the blue so you'll never be able to identify the person. Imagine you're just walking along the street and the cops pass you, and right when they pass you, you drop your wallet out of your pocket and you bend over to pick up your wallet and you stand back up, and the cops flip a Yui and go, "Did you just flip us off?" Right? And then the cops decide to beat you up. They decide to kick your ass. And that's one of the stories. It's nothing like that. It's not even close. But that's pretty much the story. The guy did nothing wrong, and they just jumped him and beat him up. He had to go to the hospital. Yeah, I gotta stop for the day. I'm emotionally wiped. I'm gonna get my sprints in and get my lifts in right now, and
At least for a short bit, anyway.
yeah, and give Car Thief, his username's Car Thief News. That's his channel's Car Thief News. If you guys want to subscribe over to Car Thief News, and
Autocorrect is going to want to separate car and thief. It's one word.
yep.
And if the profile picture is my middle finger with ta-da across the knuckles, you found the right guy.
He came out here and backed me up, and I got to thank him for that. You guys are ordering the trifold. The trifold you can get for free. Go to the website, Delete Laws, and put in free trifold in the checkout, and you can download the digital trifold for free and print it on your own. For those of you who are buying it, and at least 10 people have bought a digital trifold, I am super grateful because I got to stay here for a week more, and I can't leave until Sarah's trial because the judge this morning said that I couldn't submit the amicus brief until the day of her trial, which is on Monday. So I got to stay here long enough to submit the amicus brief that X Factor wrote up. That's just beautiful. So I appreciate X Factor too. X Factor Law. He does a lot of he does all the writing for me, because as you can see, I'm not good at procedurals in court. I'm good at the foundation of law. So if you would please pick up the trifold, and even if you get it for free, get it. Just get it, and don't talk to cops. Every case so far, every single case that I've had to go and talk to those people, it's been when they spoke to police where it went south. You literally show them your Fifth Amendment and don't talk to those dirty swine. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, I'm super emotional. I got to get off. I didn't plan on this being emotional, but Ironton people, I want 25 stories, because there's at least, if there's 11 people have contacted me today since 2 o'clock, since the story came out, if 11 people have contacted me today, there's 1,000 more here. Okay? So let me know. I appreciate your time. God bless you guys. God bless America. And keep fighting the good fight. I'm going to get my sprints in, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Car Thief.
Bye, mother flacas.